So I've received a lot of requests to make a video on how I season my cast iron skillets. So this is a quick video on how I personally do it. There's a lot of different methods out there, but I find this is the easiest way that I do it. But let me start by telling you a little bit about my pans. I have 3 cast iron skillets and they're all Griswolds. So Griswold is just a brand of cast iron skillets that I prefer. I find them at antique malls or antique shops while thrifting or even on eBay. So I have 3. I have a 12-inch, which I use the most, and I use that for like grilled cheese sandwiches, anything that's bigger whenever I'm making a meal for someone else as well. I like to use that. And then I have an 8-inch, and this one's perfect for just me if I'm cooking something for myself. And then I have a 6-inch, which is perfect for making breakfast. So you can make like 2 eggs or stick it in the toaster oven. It fits perfectly. So this is the one that I am actually going to be seasoning today because it needs a little bit of love. Griswold cast irons are a little bit harder to find than like Wagner Ware or Lodge, but I find that, I don't know, I like them so much because they're a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter, and they're smooth, super smooth. So I love them. In any case, this is how I personally season my cast iron skillets. So you want to start off by cleaning your cast iron skillets. Take a very stiff brush. This is just a nylon bristle brush from IKEA. And then I run it under hot water, like as hot as you can stand. And then take your cast iron skillet, put it under the water, and then scrub away. Scrub like very well. And if you have to, use a little bit of soap. This is the only time that I use soap on my pan. I don't like using soap on my pan because it breaks away at the oil. The oil buildup leads to like a non-stick surface, so you want it to be glassy kind of. So what I normally do is repeat the seasoning process 3 times before I actually use it for the first time. So after I scrub away and I clean off all the rust and dirt and grime, what I do is I dry it very well with a paper towel. And sometimes I use a stove where I'll turn it on like a low heat and then just stick it on the stove so it dries out completely. But in this case, I'm not gonna do that. Next, I take an oil, and this is a flaxseed oil. I like flaxseed or linseed or grapeseed because it dries to a hard surface. It doesn't get sticky, and it has a high smoke point. So I think coconut oil is good. Olive oil you can't use, butter you can't use. You can even use lard or Crisco or vegetable shortening. I bought flaxseed just for this purpose, so that's just what I like to use, but you can use anything you like. So what I do is I pour a small amount and I just rub it all the way into all the cracks and crevices, all the corners of the pan, even the handles, even the back. I really like the Griswold logo, so I kind of work in the oil very well so that it kind of brings out the logo, but you don't have to, obviously. So after I oil the pan completely, I like to stick it on a baking sheet that has a wire rack so that the oil can drip onto the pan. You don't have to really clean up your oven or anything like that. And the great thing about this pan is that it fits into my toaster oven, so I'm actually going to just season it in the toaster oven. So what I do is I heat up my toaster oven to 250 degrees or even lower sometimes, and then I stick in my cast iron skillet facing down and then leave it in there for around 2 hours, and after 2 hours I let it cool down completely and then take it out and repeat the whole process again, starting from the oiling. I don't clean it or scrub it or anything like that over again. I just kind of let the fat burn off and then repeat the process so that it creates layers and then ends up having a non-stick surface. And that's my entire process, but there's a lot of different ways that you can do it, so definitely check it out on YouTube. Just look up how to season a cast iron skillet and then figure out a way that works for you. So do you guys use cast iron skillets? And if you do you get it from your ancestors or your parents? Like, my parents never used cast iron skillets, so I actually did my own research and figured it out by myself. But I know a lot of people, like, you know, they have like family traditions where they like pass these things down, and I think it's really cool. So like, what brands do you guys like, and how do you guys season your cast iron skillets? I've heard of people using like bacon fat and like lard, and that sounds delicious in my opinion, but I haven't tried that yet. So that's everything. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!